これ遅くなったけど、結婚はまだ先だけど婚約の証として。
嬉しいです。これでやっと胸を張ってトーヤ様の婚約者だと言えます。
そのうち恋人とか夫婦のように見える時が来るだろう。
So during last week's episode of Smartphone, I brought up the fact that I think the anime is moving very, very fast. Now, on one hand, I'm wondering how much content they are glazing over or skipping through to try and adapt this in this speedy fashion. On the other hand, I want to jog everyone's memory is this anime, Smartphone, originally came out two reasons. Well, one specific reason. One, it came out to mostly promote the manga or whatever it was, but it also came out in 2017. So here we are in 2023 watching it. So we waited 6 years for the continuation to be adapted. So on one hand, I'm like, okay, we're moving really fast here, and I'm wondering, like, how quickly are we moving through the content? But then on the other hand, I'm kind of like, I'm okay with the fact that they're moving so fast with the content, because I would rather see this end and get an ending as opposed to wondering for years if we're ever going to get the final season or the finale, and it may not ever come, because again, we waited 6 years just to get to this point. So I'm okay if we see all 9 brides, if we see the new country, maybe we even see first baby, I don't know. But I'm okay with them speeding through to get to the end, because the reality is I don't want to wait 5 or 6 years. If we wait 6 years again, I'm gonna be damn near 40. Actually, I will probably be 40. I will be 40. Holy shit! So that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't wait another 6 years for this. Like, can I wait? Sure, but things happen. So I'd rather see this just end. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, because last week I was like, man, we're blazing through the girls. We're blazing through. And I think, sorry, I'm really sneezy. I've been under the weather. And I think, the downside of that is we things move so quickly. We don't really get to, like, okay, we have Lou. I'm gonna attach myself to Lou, and then we have the Lil over here. We have our little elf fairy, whatever the hell she is, over here, or Lean or whatever. Like, when is he gonna marry her? When's he gonna So it's like there's sometimes things just move too fast to, like, really get yourself, but at the same time, it's like, that's fine. I can rewatch it again. I'll rewatch it again once it gets dubbed. I'll rewatch from episode 1, when he's meeting God, all the way to whenever we end in season 2. I'm gonna rewatch it. I've Smartphone anime, and then there's a couple other ones that I've rewatched, like, all the time. So it's like, okay, that's fine. So this episode, there's a few different things. One, I do have to call our boy out for Lucia. At the beginning of the episode, he's basically told by the king that, hey, do you want to marry Lucia? Do you want to marry Lou? And he's like, well, he's like, okay, you're gonna marry her. So he gets talked into that. Yumina, our harem negotiator, comes into play, and she negotiates the harem contract, and we get all that settled out. So he's gonna marry Lou. This is gonna be a kind of political marriage. It's going to allow Belfast, where he lives currently, and Regulus, the kingdom that he saved, to have a specific alliance and ties through him, with him marrying both of the princesses from both of their respective kingdoms. It allows both countries to kind of come and have a really strong relationship through him. So it's kind of political in a sense, and it works out for everything. Now, to establish this marriage, he needs some kind of political power. He's getting to the point to where it's like, okay, you're going to have Yumina, you're going to have Lou, and then he's going to end up having the Duke's daughter as well, too, at the end of it. And I think there's still one more is it one more girl? I think that has to come into play. And who knows what kind of political power she carries. But there's another girl too. So it's like he needs to have some kind of political power here. So they decide to, between Belfast and between Regulus, they decide to give him, this decent chunk of land between the two masses. And they're like, you need to establish a new country. You're going to be king of this country. There's not really a lot of people that live there. You need to kind of like make it happen. So now he's going to be a king. He decides to name it the Duchy of Brunhild. So now he has a country name. So that's good. He then begins to establish everything. He has to move there because, of course, the king has to live there. He establishes a new castle there. He uses the power of his floating islands, whatever the hell they're called. I forget. Names are hard. Keeping track of everything through anime is extremely hard. But he uses the power there. The robots help him out. The warehouse robot lady helps him out there. He builds a brand new castle. And then Tsubaki shows up from Eastal, whatever the hell the East place is from. Tsubaki comes to one of the ninjas. They bring almost 70 people with them to kind of like they ran away from there because the new ruler of the East place is bad. So they ran here. They committed to Touya. Now he has about 70 additional people here who live here. He can start establishing a city, a town, a store. He can start establishing normal commerce within this place, along with homes and stuff. And now that'll attract more people to come here in the future. So it's kind of like the beginning of it as well, which is really, really interesting to see. Episode ends with him hosting all the king of Refreeze, which is the king of the girl who's the writer who writes the boys love books. She comes, the king of that kingdom comes. Thankfully, he wants to establish relationships with all these people. Thankfully, he doesn't have to actually marry any of his children because the girl is already, engaged. The writer girl, she's already engaged. So he invites all of them, and at the end of the episode, they share a really good time. And then he finally puts a ring on it. He finally puts a ring on Lou. What an asshole, though. He hands her the ring and puts it in her hand instead of putting it on her finger himself. I was like, what a dopey-ass move that was. But overall, I really enjoyed the episode. Again, we're moving really quick, so I was trying to keep up with it, trying to keep pace with it. I was like, wow, there's a lot happening. We're here. He's gonna marry Lou. He's getting land. He now he's the king. We're gonna establish a city. We're celebrating. It's like all this. It's like we're moving really fast. I'm trying to keep tabs on everything that's happening here. But the reality, he's a king now. He has to establish the kingliness. He has to establish his town. The reality is because of his powers, this city is going to be probably one of the most powerful territories because of all the technology he's able to bring here that other kingdoms simply don't have. But the ones who are in alliance with him will end up having over time, which is a reason for him to, get an alliance with. He has an alliance now with Belfast and with Regulus. Now he's going to have an alliance with the king of the Refreeze Imperium. He has an alliance with the Beast Kingdom. And then now he's going to have an alliance because Leanne came at the end. He's going to have an alliance with Miss Mead as well. So, it's just going to keep growing and stuff like that as well, too. So, overall, I enjoyed the episode. We're moving really quick, but I'm still enjoying it, and I can't wait till it gets dubbed as well. Let me know what you guys thought about episode number 5? Question mark? 5? Was that it? Number 5? Let me know what you guys thought about episode number 5 in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.